Hi there, I'm Frater Zygmunt. I'm a queer Hermetic Mystic, Ceremonial and Art Magician, and a Conceptual Artist working in the medium of religion. But what does that all mean? I decided I wanted to do a video introducing myself, I guess talking about myself a little bit more, lean into my Leo ascendant. Yeah, just share with you exactly what it is that I do, my spiritual background, what it is I'm trying to do with my channel. So let's go over this. So queer Hermetic Mystic. So I'm queer, I'm gay. I came out when I was 17, and I think I knew I was gay since I was about 10. Being queer is something that really has affected the way I view the world, and I think it does to all queer people. And it's probably my first step on the road to mysticism, because when you're queer and you grow up with a different gender expression or a different sexual expression, you kind of see the world a lot differently than most people. And a lot of things that people take for granted become very obviously arbitrary to you. So when you're queer, you kind of have a step ahead of others when it comes to moving along on a mystical path. And a lot of queer people throughout history in various cultures are considered, in a spiritual different category than other people, which is both good and bad. But I do feel like there is a lot of spirituality in my queerness, and I'll probably make some videos about that. But there's also an aspect of non-binariness to me. Even though I'm very masculine presenting, I do like to use they, them pronouns. And this is much more on a spiritual level. I kind of feel like I like to balance masculine and feminine within me. Although lately I've been working a lot with Mars, so my masculine energies have been very ramped up. But I'm not afraid of Venus. I'm filming this on a Friday, the day of Venus, so wearing my Venus pendant. And femininity, I don't think it's something to be scared of or something that's antithetical to masculinity. I really feel like both of these things complement each other, work with each other. It's very yin yang, one within the other, and kind of move along in this sort of field. It's not really all this or all that. It's a little this, a little that. Lots of different things intersecting. We can simplify and say masculine and feminine, but there's just so much in that. That's even beyond just like a line from one point to the other. It's very fuzzy. Hermetic Mystic. Okay, so Hermetic, I consider myself a Hermeticist. I practice the Hermetic sciences. I don't know. I don't know if they're really sciences, but Hermetic meaning I'm inspired a lot by the strand of thought that is Hermeticism. Specifically, the Corpus Hermeticum is really inspiring to me. I also really like Platonism. Plato's works are also very, very inspiring to me. I find them very spiritual. They're usually lumped under philosophy in modern times because there's this really great bias against the mystical and the non-rational. But Plato is full of all of that, and it's really, really great stuff. You should really check it out. Maybe a little hard to read, but it's definitely worth it. And it's definitely something that you get more out of the more you study it. I'm reading through the Republic again right now. And there's a channel on YouTube called All About Platonism by Mindy Mandel that is really, really, really good, and I really recommend it. And Hermetic, I really appreciated Dr. Hanegraaff's book on Hermetic spirituality and historical imagination, where he went through historically what really went on with the Hermetic teachings and how they were taught and disseminated in the ancient world, in antiquity, and what the practice was probably like. And I find a lot of similarities to my own practice now. And it's very much about the practice then was very much about preparing yourself through theurgy, through ritual, through prayer and certain meditations and all that, to prepare yourself for a moment of gnosis, for of greater knowledge that exists beyond words, beyond what can necessarily be described with words. It's an experience that has to be felt firsthand. No one else can do it for you. Nobody else can give it to you. You have to prepare yourself for the work. You have to prepare yourself for the experience. You have to do the work, keep at it, be patient. And I can say from my own experience that this stuff does work, but it is hard and it does require a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication, and a lot of support. You can't really just do it by yourself. I have a lot of help from my family, financially, emotionally, but it really has allowed me to really practice as I need to, as I want to, as I was meant to, I guess you could say, in a certain way. I really feel called to this path. For a long time, I really struggled with bipolar disorder. And it was just really hard getting from day to day. But after I started really trying to improve myself, and then I took up ritual practice, I really started to find ways to be a more effective person in the world, and really start finding those blocks in myself that were keeping me from reaching my full potential. And I'm working through them now, getting better all the time. I'm on disability for the bipolar disorder, but I'm trying right now to get off of it so that I can actually start making some real money. And that's part of this YouTube channel. Hopefully, one of these things takes off one day. So we're just going to keep working and keep trying. I'm really bad at holding on a regular job. So I'm trying to find something that I can do on my own terms. So here we are doing the thing. So Mystic, yeah, I do rituals and prayers every day. I specifically have a ritual practice that takes me about an hour, hour and a half every night, right before bed. And I do a battery of rituals that is described in the book. Okay, let's see if I can get this right. Kabbalah Magic and the Great Work of Self-Transformation, I think is what it's called, by Liam Thomas Christopher. The LTC curriculum, the infamous LTC curriculum, absolutely has completely changed my life, made me a much better person, much more effective person. And I feel the current all the time. I feel the presence of God around me. If I think about it, oh, there it goes. That's just kind of what these practices do to you. They attune you to a higher awareness, a different, well, I don't want to say higher awareness, a different awareness, something that is more in tune with the unity of the universe, the unity of the all. So yeah, and when I started this stuff out, I just kind of was like, oh, Golden Dawn, this is cool. All self-initiation, you can teach yourself. And then I started teaching myself, and I got really into it, I liked it. And I originally was first introduced to the book Modern Magic when I was 18, and I really fell in love with it right away. I really wanted to do that sort of style of magic, but it took me about 20 years before I was finally able to like be in a position where I could dedicate myself to that kind of work, to the degree that I needed to. And in those 20 years, I spent that time working on myself, getting better, getting secure in the world, finding support, um, finding family, finding chosen family. But once all of that was sort of in place, and I got my disability, and I didn't have to really worry about working. I could just focus on taking care of myself, and taking care of myself is a full-time job. So it's a little hard trying to find ways to make money. But it's all the stuff I have to do to take care of myself to make sure I don't go too manic or too depressed, making sure my mood is stable. I take medication for it, but I also go to the gym almost every day. I make sure I sleep enough at night regularly, regular bedtime. I eat healthy, cook most of my own meals. I also have some gastrointestinal issues. I've had a part of my colon removed last year because it was failing. So everything's much, much better now, but I have to really watch what I eat. And I have got IBS, so I'm on a low FODMAP diet, which means no garlic, no onion. I've got to cook most of my own food. I can cheat a little bit, but I got to be careful. So that has all kind of forced me to be better health-wise. And it forms such a big part of my life now, between going to the gym and eating enough to support my activity, but also I'm trying to lose weight. And I'm down over like 21 pounds so far since the end of January. And I'm making a video about the current program that I'm going to be following over the next 12 weeks, the whole progress and stuff. But I'm just going to film a little bit every few weeks of progress, and then at the end, just edit it all together so you can see the progression or lack thereof. Maybe there won't be any, but but I have hope. I work really hard on this, and that's part of the other part of my practice is I deal a lot with the planets. The 7 traditional planets, so Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And I work very closely with the planetary rulers of the days of the week. So today is Friday, and I'm filming on the day of Venus. I'm wearing my Venus pendant. I've got one of these for each day of the week, except the Sun. I still need to contact the artist on Etsy for the Sun pendant that they're going to make me. So I switch this every day. I keep track of the planetary hours on my phone. When I do certain workings, I look at the planetary hours, try to time them with that, the day of the week. I mark that down in my ritual journal. So the cycle of the days of the week is really important to me. I like matching colors to the planetary ruler. Usually with my underwear, actually, because that's like the easiest thing to do. No one has to see it. You can kind of keep it secret. The other cycle that I follow closely is the sun cycle. The sun as it moves through the sky over the course of a day. I do the Libra Resh, the version that is presented in Modern Magic. I know the actual version I found out later after doing it for forever is actually like longer than what's presented by Donald Michael Craig. But I've been doing the way I've been doing it just fine, and LTC's version is very similar. It's not the full version I probably wrote, but always check your sources. You never know what you might find. I was really surprised when I actually read Libra Resh that I was like, oh, there's a whole other more stuff here. But that's part of the fun. And one of the things that about magic that I've really noticed is that it's not so much about the specifics. It's more about the mindset that you get in when you do certain things. And if you're the kind of person who really likes a good solid system like me, learning a strong solid system like the Golden Dawn really, really works well for you. Not that this is like hard coded into the universe, but if you use these practices, you'll get to a certain spot. And there's numerous ways to do it because there's numerous traditions that all kind of get to something similar, even though they do it in their own way. And following a particular tradition, a particular system, is kind of important. But as you work with it, it works with you, and you kind of find ways to make it fit you, and you adapt it. And that's what the current of your tradition will do for you. Is it will adapt to you, adapt to it, and it adapts to you, and you kind of find a middle ground, a way for the current to express itself through you the most effective way possible as you continue to improve yourself, continue to be more who you truly are meant to be. You become a more worthy candidate for carrying the current and bearing it. That's another big part of my practice. I really believe in spreading the light outward. It's really great that you sit in ritual and you do a lot of navel gazing, and I love navel gazing. Don't get me wrong, but you have to do something with that. You can't just kind of keep it all to yourself or just help yourself. Like, you are a person in the world, that you have connections to other things, even though you might not see it, even though it might not be immediately obvious to you. You still have an effect in the world because you exist in it. And if you improve yourself, that improves the world overall. Like, it spreads outward. And I've noticed this over the past few years as I've been on this path, is the more that I improve myself, the more the people around me look to improve themselves too. The better of a person I am in the world, the more positive force that I am in the world, that just kind of spreads out. I could go to the supermarket and be miserable. I could go to the supermarket and be cheerful. And, maybe just that smile I give to somebody just brightens their day just enough. And it's, those little things, those little incremental things that really make a big difference. People are really concerned about doing great, magnificent things when you can just do a bunch of little things and have a much bigger impact on the world. Trust me, people remember when you're a nice person. People remember when you're caring, when you take care of things. It's something that is really meaningful to a lot of people. And if someone is taking their time to help you, express gratitude, there are lots of people who do not get help. And a lot of people don't realize what they have. That's really sad. I live in the United States. There is so much wealth and abundance here, and we're all struggling at the same time. And it's just such a weird place to be in. But the little things that we can do to make the world a better place, even as harsh and as cruel as it can be, really does make a difference. And I really believe that. And that's part of why I started this YouTube channel, because I have really brought a lot of joy and happiness into my life, and the light kind of really shines through me, I feel, at this point. And I really just want to share it with the world. And I want to inspire people to go find their own light, go do their own thing, become their authentic selves. That's all I really, really, really want. All right, next thing, ceremonial magic. Ceremonial and art magician. So yeah, I do Golden Dawn style magic, that sort of tradition, lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, banishing ritual, the hexagram, middle pillar ritual, all that every day, every night. And it's incredible. It's really wonderful. I found so much about myself just by applying myself to this work. And it's really funny. I used to say, pretending to be a wizard for an hour every day has really made me a better person. And then my boyfriend's like, you're not pretending anymore. So yeah, I like to joke and say I'm a wizard, just to kind of make it lighter. Like, some of this work is very serious. It's very very rigorous, very disciplined. And so sometimes you just got to be like, I'm a sexy gay wizard. Oh, well. So ceremonial magic, I do ceremonial magic. I don't really do like thaumaturgy kind of stuff, like where I ask for stuff, request stuff. Like, generally by through the theurgy, you kind of learn to move with the universe, move with the world, move with the flows, and the things that you need just sort of come to you, or you uh, sort of move in effective ways so that your needs are taken care of and met. And then, other stuff. I mean, it would be nice to have a whole lot of money or whatever, but like, I don't really feel like that's really going to help me in the long run if I don't just like earn it somehow. So when I ask for stuff, I ask for help to keep me disciplined, to help keep me on my goals, um, and to provide opportunities for me to seize and move up on. So that's really the kind of magic I do. Magic to improve myself, to make myself a better, more effective person. Just because it makes the world a better, more effective person. I think we're here to heal the world, and it starts with healing ourselves. And I've done quite a lot of that, and I've had to because I have a mental health condition. It has required me to really sit down and take care of myself. The alternative is not really great, and I was miserable for so long since a very young age, and now things are really, really, really great. Even though there are some limitations to my activity that I have to admit, like I can't stay up late. Um, I can't get up too early. I got to make sure I get enough sleep. Like that's a huge thing for me. I got to stay away from alcohol. I can't really drink. Plus, like I'm trying to lose weight, so I really don't want to be drinking alcohol anyway. I just got to really, really be good to myself, and just know that like if I go off this stuff, it really disrupts me for a few days. So I really try to stay on top of all the things that I need to do to take care of myself. Let's see, art magician. So art magic. I am an artist. I've always been an artist. I've loved painting. I've been painting abstract paintings since I was like 12, 13. I really love just being creative. And I feel like magic and art go hand in hand. I've got a little video about what is art magic. So I consider myself an art magician. I make talismans. I make sigils. I decorate things, magical objects. I like empowering magical objects. I just really like making stuff. And that's kind of one of the things that really got me into occultism. It's like, oh, you get to make your tools. That's so cool. I want to do this. And now I have. And, and I'm like, yeah, it's still cool. But now I've had the experience and it's not as exciting anymore. But I really do like expressing myself through a visual medium. And also, this goes into the next thing, conceptual artists in the medium of religion. Well, I really like taking ideas from religion. I watch a lot of academics on YouTube that do religious study stuff. And when you start seeing like certain threads, certain ways that people do things, this kind of combines sort of my chaos magic. I've read Peter Carroll. A lot of people have read Peter Carroll, but finding the core essence of what makes a ritual or what makes a magical practice work and adapting that into a new form, a new way, taking the core elements of that kind of practice and changing it and modifying it and making it more modern, more contemporary, or more absurd, or more serious, or whatever it is you need it to be. Whatever fits you right there, right now. So I am planning on doing some public rituals at a burn that I'm going to coming up, Summer Isle. We're going to enchant a wonderstone. This is the plan. So I'm going to make a big paper mache rock. We're going to decorate it and we're going to enchant it with Venus energy and call in all that creative energies. And I'm just going to be participatory, get all these people involved. Something fun, lighthearted, but still magic. Is something that anybody walking in can just participate in with a little direction. So that's something I'm really interested in. I also really want to do ritual as sort of like a spectacle in a way, which kind of takes away from the act of it being the act of devotion that you should do privately. Like it really shouldn't be for the spectacle. But I have learned that I have a lot of 11th house energy in my natal chart. It's about community and communication outward. And so I've got the sun and Mars in like a really strong conjunction, like less than a quarter of a degree apart. It's called the Kazemi. So my Mars is incredibly strong. My sun Mars conjunction is in Gemini in the 11th house. So I have a lot of outward going energy communication. And I've learned that I need to find some way to express that in the world effectively without endangering myself. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this public ritual kind of thing work. And I'm sure I'm not going to get it right all the time. Um, but, there's ideas of silence in magic. And I've been kind of towing the line on that. But I'm exploring it and trying to figure out what works for me, because there's obviously an aspect of me that involves being a public person. And I'm really learning how to lean into that and manage it. So that's me in a nutshell. Let's see. So I talked about my magic. I talked about my art. I talked about my planetary stuff. I talked about my weightlifting. I've got these big old arms. Yes, I go to the gym 4 days a week just to lift. Sometimes I go to do cardio too. Oh, I am polyamorous. I'm currently in a triad with 2 other men. We all live together. It's really wonderful. We've been together for 6 years as a triad, and I've been with one of my partners for 10 and a half years at this point. It's going to be 11 in December. So I just have a lot of love to give. It just makes me so happy. There's just so much joy in my life, and so many people that I'm close to that I like sharing that joy with. So I consider myself very blessed. I'm very grateful for all of the things that I have in my life, even though I'm broke, even though I don't really have a job. I still sometimes feel like the wealthiest man in the world. And I'm really grateful for that, because I struggled through a whole lot of my life, and now I'm not struggling anymore. And I'm really, really ready to take the world by storm. So I'm doing my best with what I got. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, share, or comment. I don't know how popular this is going to be, but the week kind of got away from me, and this is what I'm doing for my video this week. Take care, everybody. Have a good one, and may the light shine brightly through you.